I have something very special in store for today. Something I picked up God, a couple weeks now ago. Kind of something, an odd little project that I wanted to do. Just kind of in my off time between the Supra and repairing all the other cars I have and doing all the maintenance and whatnot. So I'm gonna go pull it in right now so that way see what it is. It's a freaking Volkswagen. It's a Mark II Jetta 92. Got some dents, a little rough around the edges, but runs primo. Like, this thing is amazingly, drives nice, clutch is nice. It is a manual, obviously. Underneath the hood, I mean, being for its age, looks really great. I mean, it doesn't smoke. The only thing that's wrong with it is the starter is a little janky, so I'm gonna have to replace that. The dents on the side, missing trim panel on either side, but other than that, I mean, she's actually decently clean in the inside, which is nice, especially for being the age. Paint's rough. And then we have typical Michigan rust, and the trim piece is broke. And of course, these are all one pieces, so it's gonna be hard to try to find a whole nother piece. But the cool thing with this one is you can lower them, you can raise them, you can engine swap them, you do whatever you want. And usually I lower things. I lower everything I have, everything. But this time, we're gonna raise them. I've got some springs that I had ordered. These are coil springs from a B4 Audi, which are an equivalent of a, I'd say, almost 2-inch lift for this. And I want to do kind of like a safari rally car kind of build on this Jetta. I want to do a roof rack with a basket with rally lights. Maybe you can get a rally light set up on the front of this and just have it as a winter / backyard beater. Maybe even take it on a couple of like $500 rally things like gamblers and stuff like that, because this thing, it only costed me $400, which is a goddamn steal for something that's nice. Usually for $400, something's not running or something's really fucked up. But I could honestly daily drive this if I wanted to. So yeah, I think we're gonna get her up in the air, get the wheels off of it, and then start the lift process. All right, as you can see, we got it up in the air. Got the wheels off of it. There was a bee's nest in here at one point in time, so obviously the struts gotta be unbolted from the top with that captive nut, and unbolt the top, try to see if we can't get any full movement out of this. I don't know if I want to take it off of the bottom part here just to put the spring top on. So I think I might be able to do it without doing it, but there's not a whole lot of room in there. So I might have to just unbolt these, take the whole assembly out, put the spring in there, then put it back in. But either way, kind of excited. I'm going to do the front first. It's a whole lot easier on the front. The rear, it's just a single captive nut or a single bolt going through the bottom. But unfortunately with these, you have to take the, oh, the door's locked. You have to take the back seats out, get underneath the cover there, and then the top bolt is in there. So It'll take a little bit more just with the back seat being a pain in the ass, but other than that, start on this front, get her going. All right, boys. Honestly, that was really easy. A little bit of a PB blast to loosen up all the rust and get into the threads, but she came out pretty freaking easy, honestly. So I got her out. Have to take this lock nut off the top to get the spring on there, so we're gonna do that right now. So kind of odd one, but I've seen people take it off with just a flathead screwdriver and a hammer. So I want to put some spring compressors on here, that way they don't fly off. I don't think these have a lot of compression anyway, being that they're old, but we're going to do it just for safety reasons. All right, got them off, got the top nut off, got the springs out. Did have to compress them, obviously. There's some those scary compressors. She's going to be awesome. So a lot more coils in this, so she's not going to sink down as much. A little bit beefier construction, obviously being for a bigger vehicle as well, and a little bit taller. So this will be freaking awesome. Can't wait. So all I got to do is compress these back down, slap them in here, and then get the top back on. All right, got the springs swapped, got the front end on both sides. Definitely a nice little upgrade lift, so I'm happy about it. Got to do the rear. It's not going to be a crazy amount of lift, but it will definitely be better. Like I said, I think they said it's like 1.5 to 2 inches of lift, so it'll definitely be a lot better. Can't wait to get the rear done. So we're gonna take this seat out and get started on that sweat box. All right, got the rear end up and got these wheels off. Those steel wheels were kind of like seized on there, so I literally had to take the lug nuts out and drive without the lug nuts on to loosen them up. I don't recommend you doing that, but I did it just because I'm obviously just driving in my yard, so I can pull it back in here if I freaking drive the wheels off of it. But got them loosed up, got them all cleaned up and whatnot. So like I said, there's one bolt in the bottom to take the bottom of the strut out, and the top just have to get these back seats up and out of the way to get to this cover. And that's just a couple of bolts right there. Push the seat out, get to the top, and yeah, we'll be able to get it out. Let's do it. All right, got it done. Got the springs out, got the amount of garbage that was sitting in there. Got the back done. Got the seat back in too. They look a whole lot better. The backs were actually really easy to do with just a single bolt on the bottom and a single bolt on the top. The hardest thing was just sweating trying to freaking get this seat out of there so you can get to the top struts. But I mean, other than that, it's all done. That is all of 2-inch lift. So not very much, but I mean enough to have a little bit of a lift down here. I gotta find some trim pieces to clean it up, and then I gotta get a roof rack and some off-road lights. Then this thing will look pretty sweet. So I'm gonna pull it outside here in a second after I do a couple more things in the trunk, and then we'll get another shot out in the sun. All right, got her out of the barn and in the sunlight. 2-inch lift. You can definitely notice it on the rear because the rear always has a sag on it, and now it's definitely lifted. Now you can get slightly bigger tires. A lot of people will take the over fenders off. They'll actually carve into them, put some bigger tires on there, lift another inch and a half, depending on how big of a tire you can find, especially clearing in the back and whatnot. But technically you could lift the back like infinitely. There is a company who makes top hat spacers to lift it up a little bit more. I might do that in the future, but for a cheap lift kit. It's really not that bad. I mean, it only cost me 60 bucks for 4 B4 springs, and that gives it a little bit of a lift. So now we're going to start it up and drive her around. This one's ghetto, so turn the key all the way forward. Put the battery on, then start it. My ghetto way of starting it. All right. See if I can do this one-handed. Second. Oh yeah. So we're going in the trails in my back property, and she's taking them like a champ now. Cut in the corner. Oh shit. We're not going very fast back here, obviously, but definitely taking it faster than this Jetta usually does. Heck yeah. Awesome. Back in her parking spot for now. All right, I think that does it for today, this weekend. Lifted Jetta. Next on the list, like I said, is roof rack, basket, and then off-road lights. And then she'll be little rally car. See you later.